What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thank you for joining me today for another hopefully interesting and helpful video for you. I think so. It's about inventory systems, and who doesn't love a good inventory system? Guys, I have been through them all. I've been doing this now 5 years and I've been through every single inventory system, and I want to talk about two specifically that I've been working in this last year and kind of give you some pros and cons about them in hopes that it will help you decide what's right for you now and what might be right for you in the future, and that way you can see what the best thing for you would be. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Rebecca and I'm a semi-full-time reseller on Poshmark and ThredUp, and I dabble in a bunch of other things. I talk about them here on my channel. My channel is all about reselling, how to increase your Poshmark sales, Poshmark tips and tricks, what sold on Poshmark, and videos like this, which pretty much doesn't necessarily pertain to Poshmark, but I'm talking about it because I'm a Poshmark seller. I'm sure it would work for you if you're an eBay seller, Mercari seller, all of that kind of thing. Though we are primarily talking about clothing, I will say, because that's what I mostly sell. Just a quick kind of backstory so you know. When I first started, like everyone, I didn't have any bins, I didn't have any system, I didn't have anything. And then I started getting more things in my inventory and I needed some bins. So I made a bin of tops, I made a bin of jeans, I made a bin of shirts of some other kind, I made a bin of dresses, and then I got more things. So I had 2 bins of dresses and 2 bins of jeans, and I separated them by size. Then I had several tops bins, short sleeve, long sleeve, things like that. You know, you kind of outgrow your system kind of quickly in the beginning. And then after that, I went to not knowing what the things were in the bin, and it was taking a long time to find things. So then I would write on them what it is, the brand, that it was jeans, what size it was. And I was like, oh my God, this is taking a long time. This is crazy. And then I found the numbering system later. And so I did like a letter number combo system. And that I felt was kind of a pain in the neck, kind of really cumbersome and just really difficult. Now I have videos on my channel about most of all of these inventory systems. So if you just search like Rebecca the Reseller inventory system, all these videos from the past will come up and all the information is still good. This is just more of an update about 2 specific systems. One is the loose bin inventory system, which I've recently had to deal with. And then one is the chronological number bin system, which is my most favorite system and what I'm moving back to, and what I really recommend if you are knowing that you're doing this. Like if you know that you're going to be a reseller, you're just getting started, you're in the middle of it, you're at the end of it, wherever you are, I recommend the chronological number bin system most. But I do realize that there was a period of time like this year, which I'll share with you, where the loose bin system has some merits. And if you're in the beginning, it might be helpful to you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The loose bin system. Let's talk about that first. So it's basically listing an item and then throwing it in the bin. I mean, obviously like fold it and have it nice or whatever, but you're putting it loose inside a bin with no inventory number, no pre-packaging. When I talk about pre-packaging, like putting it in its plastic bag, things like that, just throwing it loose in a bin. That's why I call it the loose bin system. Then you assign the bin a number, and that's what you would put in your listing. So if I listed this, I think this is White House Black Market, I'd list it White House Black Market dress, and in my title, that's where I like to put my SKU. You can put it wherever in a SKU field, you can put it in the description, wherever you like to put your inventory number, put it. But I like to have it in the title because I don't have to do a lot of clicking around in order to find what inventory number I'm looking for when it sells. This is in bin number 2, and so my inventory number would be number 2, and that's what I would put. So when I list it White House Black Market, blah, 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 dress, number sign 2, and that's how I know it's in bin number 2. So when this item sells, I come to bin number 2, I pull it out, I fold it up, put it in its plastic bag, and send it on its merry way. What are the pros and cons of this? Well, when you're listing, when you're photographing, when you're doing the front end work, it's very quick and easy. You get done with it quick because you just throw it in a bin, and it's very quick and easy to just add that number to your title or wherever you put it in your listing. You don't have to spend the time adding your business card, folding it up nicely, putting it in a plastic bag, sealing the plastic bag, putting all of them in the bin, and then assigning it an individual number. So everything in this bin is going to have the number 2 in its title. So these pants are going to have number 2 in the title. This dress is going to have number 2 in the title. These pants are going to have number 2 in the title. And so when you sell the item, you just go to number 2 and find the item you're looking for. So on the front end of listing it and photographing it and all of that, it's quick and easy because you just throw it in and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to pack it or anything. But when it sells, you have more work to do. Now, one could make the argument, well, I'm listing more things than I'm selling. So this is a good system because you're saving the most amount of time because you're doing the listing part the most time. So if I list 10 items, I'm not packaging up 10 items. I'm just throwing 10 items in a bin. If I sell 5 items, I have to package up 5 items. So I'm only packaging up 5 items that have sold, and I'm just keeping 10 items in the bin, and that was faster. Situation right now with the loose bin system. Now, when you're doing the chronological number system, and I'm not going to explain the entire system and how it works from start to finish because I have a video on that already. So check out Rebecca the Reseller inventory system for Poshmark or whatever it is, and then you can get the full layout of how it all works, how I do it here, how I have it at the storage unit, how I condense the bins down when things sell. The whole thing is in that video. But right now I just want to talk about why I like this better in certain scenarios and why I like the other one in certain scenarios. This bin is going to have a certain set of numbers that would go in it. So normally I have like nice printed ones, but just for the purpose of this video, it's a little makeshift. And this doesn't even match, but I have these 9x12 plastic bags that I use. They're linked down below. I also have 12x15 bags that are larger for the big items. Those are linked down below. These inventory numbers, you can order whatever roll of 1,000, whatever number set you're on. Those are linked down below. So I like these labels. And I pre-label all the bags. So the bags are already labeled, and then I put them in packets of 25 because that's how many items go in the bin. So I pre-label the bags, put them in packets of 25. When I'm ready to start a new bin, I open a new pack of these. I start doing my photographing, photograph the item, fold it up, put it in the bag, put in a card, seal up the bag, and in it goes in the bin. And then 25 items would go in here, and they're already pre-packed and ready to go. So pluses and minuses of this system. On the front end, when I do those 10 items, I have to stop, fold it up nicely, put in my business card, put it in the bag, and put the bag in here, and then assign it a specific number. So this one is 0484. So that number is for that item, and that goes in this bin. So that number will go in the title. So it's a lot more work on the front end when you're listing it. But then when you go to ship it, when this item sells, I just take it out, and I should have grabbed a padded flat rate. Usually I ship it in a padded flat rate, but I have this here. So you just put it in and then slap your label on and it's done. It's done. It's so quick. And so it's more work on the front end, but shipping is a breeze. And so for you, if you're in the beginning, when you're not really selling a lot, the loose bin system will save you time on the front end and help you list more items because that listing process and just throwing it in a bin is super quick and easy. Then when you sell an item, which may be once a day, maybe twice a day, maybe once every few days, because in the beginning, when you're new and you're a new seller on Poshmark, you're not making that many sales right away. You can take the time to go and find the item and fold it up and send it all off, okay? You can spend the time during the shipping point because you don't have that many to ship. And so I think that it kind of makes everything a little bit easier and more simple when you don't have a lot of items to do the loose bin system because you don't have to worry about numbers, numbering system, bags, investing in all of these supplies right away. All you need is a bin and a number, like that's all you need. So it's really easy to get started with a loose bin system. I think, depending on your lifestyle, for me, shipping, when I do shipping in the morning, I'm also trying to get Gio off to school. It's like crazy chaos in the morning time. And so I want shipping to be as easy as possible. Also, I'm at the point now where I am shipping lots more items per day, 5, 10, 15 a day, whatever it might be. And so I want a system that makes shipping more easy. And so I'd rather spend the time on the front end packing up the item now and making everything good to go for me so that when it sells, I can just boop, ship it on out super fast, drop it in the padded flat rate and slap the label on and I'm done. So I think it depends on your lifestyle. I think it depends on where you are in your reselling journey and what things are important to you. If you do have a problem with listing, you don't want it to take you a long time, the loose bin system is great for you because you can photograph, drop it in the bin, and move on. Move on to the next one. Get more listed, get more done, get more up. Then when it sells, then you do the work of packaging it up. Like, that totally makes sense. And if that makes you happy, you could totally do that. For me though, because I had kept the items in my garage and we're in Orlando, Florida, I wanted to have things pre-packaged. Also, I now have a storage unit. I used to have one, then I didn't have one. Now I'm back to one. And so I want to make sure that my items are protected. God forbid there is a fire at the storage unit somewhere, not by my unit, let's say, and the sprinklers go off. If I had a loose bin system and the covers weren't on or the covers weren't secured, they'd all get wet. But if they're in this, they won't get wet. They'll be fine. And so this is the kind of plus and minus and differences and nuances that, you know, depend from reseller to reseller, and why there isn't just like one strict way to do things. You can do whatever you want whenever you want. I would consider, if you're new, start with a loose bin system, which you probably already have, but maybe you're not thinking of it as a system. Like, you're probably already doing the loose bin system, you're just not really thinking of it as a system. So you could systematize your loose bins and make it work for you a little bit more so that you're not going crazy trying to find things. You know exactly what bin it's in. The bin number is listed in the item. Like, you're treating it like a system. And it's kind of like training wheels for when you do get ready to do a full-fledged numbered system, chronological numbered system with bins and multiple bags and multiple numbers and all of that kind of thing. In closing, I think that both systems have merit depending on what's important to you and your lifestyle and what you need from your business at the time. I feel really relieved and much better now that if I run a 50% off sale and I have 30 packages to get out, that all I'm doing is dropping 30 of these in 30 padded flat rates and I'm finished. Whereas before, I would get a lot of anxiety because I'm like, oh my God, I have to pack up, fold, pack up, like do all this stuff and get them all out on Monday morning and get Gio to school. And it started to get stressful for me. So that's when I transitioned from loose bins back to the chronological numbering system. So I would love to know what questions you have about inventory systems, because I can always do future videos kind of surrounding certain issues that you may be having. So let me know what kind of questions you have about a loose bin system, a letter and number bin system, which I don't really recommend anymore, or the chronological numbering system. Go ahead and watch those other videos that I suggested because they are really helpful and go very much into detail. And then don't forget to check out the description down below. That's where I put all of my tools and resources and recommendations for you. I spend a lot of time putting everything together, so I hope that you will check out that description down below. Subscribe so we can hang out again and watch whatever video comes up next. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.